Filled with
Geez,
today's
already movie?
transactions,
You haven't even
men
taken me out to
seldom
dinner
find
yet.
Time to look back until something
We join production of the Akron Chamber of Commerce and Health Department.
If this prehistoric monster appeared in the mainstream of traffic in any 20th century city, modern man
Syphilisaurus.
would forget
Or would
today's
you believe
progress.
maybe
He would just work long
Iguanodon?
enough to get out of the way. He'd be reduced to the single basic drive every man has inherited from his ancestors.
Beer, porno, and football.
The chances of meeting a dinosaur in today's world are very slim. But the possibility of
You know, it looks like this has turned into a documentary about the shooting of George Wallace.
This monster is venereal disease.
Do we really have to go into the digestive
This is an
system of
enlarged
Michael Moore?
reproduction of the germ known as gonococcus, the germ of gonorrhea, a disease known 5,000 years ago to the Chinese and to the ancient Arabs, Greeks, Hindus, and Romans.
And more recently,
Still
the
known
Cyrus
today in the
family.
modern world of the 20th century. These are spirochete germs, shaped like corkscrews, syphilis germs, first referred to in European writings of the 15th century.
Penned by Father
has kept
Ichalot.
pace with a changing world for 400 years.
Ah, and here are Jim Henson's
Promiscuity
sexual
and
revolution
ignorance of the
babies.
causes and
Looks like
consequences
clown car
of the
training
venereal
school is letting
diseases
out. We
has
may be here a
contributed to
while.
their spread. There is evidence that many young people do not know that gonorrhea and syphilis are different diseases.
On the other hand, they know which of their favorite celebrities are infected with them.
Not just with an infected person of the opposite sex, but also by homosexual practices.
Hipster homos. This is not going to
Down through
end
the
well.
years, much has been learned about gonorrhea and syphilis. Modern medicine has developed drugs providing our present generation with effective cures.
Assuming you
Until
ignore
today,
the
here and
Monsanto
now,
side
these
effects.
diseases have found a new ally, complacency.
Looks
Modern
more like Johnny
society
Walker
has
to me.
lost its fear to the point of carelessness, and the monster venereal disease continues as a modern heritage.
No, plaid truly is the gateway drug.
And here we see a young Jackie Onassis preparing to be infected.
Oh, baby, there's going to be a lot of wrinkled plaid on this floor tonight.
This young man, for instance, is a carrier.
Even
That
worse, he
means
sells
is
Herbalife.
carrying in his body the germs of gonorrhea. He knows something is wrong.
Because
but
those
still
Bugle
hasn't
Boy
worked up the
jeans
courage
just don't
to
fit
talk
the
to
way they
anyone
used
about
to.
it. The previous weekend, John's family went to the cottage.
Pro tip, do not mix Andre Kolduck and Mickey's
On
Big Mouth
Saturday
beer
night, John
together.
and his buddy invited their girlfriends to the house for a few drinks.
Ah, must be one of those womanly trips to the bathroom. Well, women always go to the bathroom in pairs, you know.
They ought to sneak off and put on some more plaid. She'll go wild.
John has been going steady with Linda for 6 months now. He thinks more of her than any girl he has gone with before.
John hopes tonight will be the night
feels
Linda
the
lets
same
him
way
take
about
off her
John.
headband.
Dude, that's illegal in 49 states.
What a putz.
For the last 3 days, John has been feeling a painful burning sensation each time he has urinated.
And all the lava soap in
And
the
now,
world
this
cannot
morning,
hide
there was
the
a new
evidence.
problem. John had seen a discharge down there, and he knew it was pus. Now he was scared. What to do? There's only one thing to do.
Seek
And
out
John's
Lorena
friend
Bobbitt and have her
urges him
cut
to
it
do
off, or
and
you have
now.
sinned.
See his family doctor, and as soon as possible.
Family
He's the
doctor,
only
right. This
person
kid's
who
on the
can give
first bus to
right
Mexico.
kind of advice.
So his family doctor has an office above Macy's? Danny Thomas, urologist.
Well, John.
Okay, John, please read line 5. I, C, B, D. Hey!
And also the discharge of pus that you saw this morning are symptoms of gonorrhea.
Or being downwind of
one of the
Snooki.
venereal diseases. Now, gonorrhea can have very serious consequences in an adult male as time goes on if he does not receive the proper treatment. You see, the gonorrhea germs
Early cow and chicken
enter a man's
sketches.
body at the head of the penis. They travel up and invade the lining. of
I think the
uterine
doc
canal.
accidentally pulled out a map of the 9-hole golf course he plays at.
And
Yeah, look at that dog leg right to the prostate.
during urination. It also causes the discharge of pus from the penis. These are symptoms of gonorrhea in the acute stage when it is very infectious.
Better known as the
Of course,
Kardashian
anyone
stage of
having
VD.
such symptoms should abstain from all sexual relations.
I feel all right, Doctor.
I haven't killed
If
today.
I were infected, wouldn't the infection make me sick?
Well, if you mean nauseated or headachy when you use the word sick, the answer is no.
But if the foreskin is purple, I would
Gonorrhea
start
can
panicking.
cause complications that can completely disable a person, John. And these complications can arise.
Oh, please don't use the word arise.
You see, the gonorrhea germs may extend deeper to involve the posterior part of the urinary canal, the prostate gland.
Or in Henry
and the
Waxman's
sperm
case,
canal.
his whole body.
The infection may cause an abscess of the prostate gland and inflammation of the spermatic cord.
Hey, George, your dick's
This can
bleeding.
result in sterility in a male. And arthritis also can result from a neglected gonorrhea infection.
Why does the doctor have a wireless router on his
John,
desk?
if proper treatment isn't given as quickly as possible, the subsequent complications can become life sentences for a man.
Which means you're only 10 years away from carpal tunnel
example,
syndrome.
He may never be a father.
Or even worse, John, you may never be on American Idol.
Fortunately, this disease can be cured with modern drugs. But tissues that are scarred and damaged from these complications can never be repaired.
Really? Just ask Anthony Weiner.
All the time we've been talking. In fact, ever since I first knew something was wrong.
When that first rust stain showed up on the zippers when he started to suspect something was up.
I've used the toilet in public restaurants during the last
Then there was that senator in the stall next to me.
Maybe the dishes weren't sterilized or...
No, hold on a minute,
Huh,
John.
man, he's trying to blame this on Jack in the
Stop all your
Box.
figuring. There is only one way that you could have contacted gonorrhea, and that is through sexual intercourse with an infected person.
Poison? Great.
Now,
The doctor
there is
talks
no
like Elmer
immunity to the
Fudd.
disease, John. A person can contract VD any number of times.
For reference,
And
check
furthermore,
Courtney Love's
no
wiki
reliance
page.
can be placed on contraceptives as a means of preventing infection.
Yes, John, even safe sex
All this
ultimately
business
results in
about
death.
dirty
You're
dishes
screwed.
and unclean washrooms, I'm afraid, is just a lot of nonsense.
About on par with Al Gore
This is
inventing the
very
internet
important,
and
John.
Mikey dying from
It
Pop
means
Rocks.
that there is an infected girl who must be found and treated before her own health can be dangerously affected, or before she passes the disease on to somebody else.
Or before she marries a Kennedy.
Now,
Oh, wait, that's
I
a
would
lateral
like you
move.
to tell me who the girl or girls are with whom you may have had relations during the past 2 weeks, and how they can be located.
And the thing, nowadays, all you need is
The health
Facebook and the
department will
NSA.
assist us in this. It will be done with courtesy and in the strictest confidence.
Yeah, right, they're going to
The girl
invent a
was
new
not even
hashtag
told
for
who
this
gave her
guy.
name.
Well, there was only one girl. But it couldn't have been her, Doctor.
There's just no way this Sanger flu could have a venereal disease.
Well, you must have been infected by her, if she's the only one.
John obviously never watched that Boys But Wear short. Shame on him.
Look, please try to understand how very important this is for her. Now, are you being truthful when you say there were no other contacts?
Well, there is that used blow-up doll I got on eBay last week.
Besides, you must be wrong. I just don't believe she would have stayed with me knowing that I would get an infection.
Well, that's the sad part of this whole thing, John.
Come on, Doc, stop trying to cheer me up. I was lucky to get it once.
She is infected herself. And naturally, she wouldn't know that she's passed along the infection to you.
Really, it's not like she's wearing a scarlet letter on her clitoris.
Easily detected in women as it is in men.
The physics of that
It
might
may
be too
cause
challenging for
pure
you, John.
But surely you can realize that you'll be actually doing her a favor by seeing to it that she has the benefit of medical examination.
And Japanese
Sure,
spy
I can see your
cams.
point, Doctor, but I just can't believe it.
Hey, Al Sharpton's down there. No
Well, whether
justice,
you
no
believe it or
peace.
not isn't important, John. But we must know who she is.
I bet this is the
Let me
last
think
time
about
he
it for a
uses
while,
eHarmony.
I'll come back after I've had a chance to do some thinking.
And also after clearing out his browser history.
Time, John. Just keep one thing in mind, will you? Time is that girl's enemy right now.
Fix this
You're
timeline,
trying to
Doctor
trip
Who.
her. Now, I know that you think you're being honorable in withholding her name, but your mistaken sense of honor could easily lead to serious illness.
For the sake of chivalry, Linda must
Look, she
die.
has passed gonorrhea on to you, John. But if she has been promiscuous with other men, she may also be carrying the germs of syphilis in her body. Now, syphilis is even more devastating than gonorrhea.
And it, too, is not covered under Obamacare.
Do you want to be an accomplice to this?
I think he's already
By
been
giving
an
you
accomplice,
treatment
if you know what I mean.
when you are in a position to help?
Oh, good God, my ass was killing
All right,
me.
Doctor. It's Linda Miller.
Linda Miller, oh my God!
She's a secretary for one
Wait,
of the
who's Linda Miller?
manufacturing plants in town.
Ah, so John was swimming in the tainted
I know you
secretary
don't so
pool,
now,
eh?
John, but I know that you'll be glad you told me.
Signed, paid for by Obama stimulus.
Caution. A virus has been detected.
You ask why we called you here. Why we think that you may have a venereal disease isn't important, Linda. The important thing is that you see your doctor without delay.
Looks like she got her
Your
desk from a
exam
police
unit
auction
has
house.
some laboratory test done. If you are infected, immediate treatment is terribly important.
Wherever you're getting your information, Miss Johnson, all I can say to you is that you've got the wrong girl.
Mrs. Johnson does interviews for VD patients. What are the odds?
Let me explain some of the simple facts about venereal disease to you. Hear me out. Then if you still want to leave, you're quite free to go. Gonorrhea.
Yeah, I'm confused. Are we supposed to be looking at the female reproductive system, or did Bob Ross just paint us a flamingo?
Usually they take the form of a burning sensation during urination. Or there may be a vaginal discharge.
Or maybe you're just wearing
Now,
your
even
thong
when these
too
symptoms
tight.
do occur, they're often ignored. They may even disappear in a short time. But the gonorrhea germs do not disappear.
Like a student loan
They
agent who
multiply,
stalks you on
And
Facebook.
they travel. Now, if early treatment is not given, the infection can spread to the uterus, and from there to the fallopian tube.
So I guess peg leg tavern wenches are easy.
Illness. The scarring which results may cause sterility. Sterility, Linda. A small word with a world of meaning. Do you know what that can mean to a girl?
A beautiful fantasy world where Kate Gosselin and the Octomom do not
Instead
exist.
of the joy of a family of her own, the memory of an illness which could have been completely prevented.
Jeez, the nurse must have called her in just after
Now,
reading
before
Rosemary's
you go,
Baby.
You're perfectly free to go. But I'd like you to stay. We can discuss this problem.
Judging by those moans in the background, it sounds like everybody in this building has VD.
And only you can solve it for yourself. Won't you stay?
She'd stay, but she has a date with Rock Hudson later on today.
But I don't see how this problem applies to me. I feel all right. In fact, I have trouble keeping my weight down. I have such a good appetite.
I never knew that Rosie O'Donnell used to purge.
Wouldn't I know it?
Perhaps the worst aspect of the venereal diseases is that the early signs and symptoms may be overlooked or passed off as some other illness.
I assume today they would call that
I've already
VD
mentioned
chic.
that Gonorrhea may cause few or very mild symptoms in women. It can be detected only by medical examination and laboratory tests, and cured only by proper treatment from your physician. Now, the
Jeez, what is this, Ren and Stimpy porn?
You didn't use protection, you fat bloated idiot!
Forming on the outside genital area.
Unfortunately, also a symptom of obsessive vajazzling.
Now, it's typically small and painless.
Now the object here is to get the motorcade past the school book depository.
Syphilis often goes undetected until it's reached an advanced stage.
Why exactly did Lisa Loeb think the 60s nurse glasses look needed to come back?
Mistaken for other temporary minor
Spermicide or condoms tonight?
Skin rash and swollen glands may appear 6 to 8 weeks after the chancre is cleared up. A sore throat and fever may occur. Small sores may appear around the mouth. And patches of hair may fall out.
Is she describing VD or intense radiation poisoning?
May occur. Often their true nature isn't realized because they're so common to other ailments. Unfortunately, often syphilis is not diagnosed until it's caused permanent damage to the heart or nervous system.
On the bright side, she won't end up like Eunice Kennedy Shriver, though.
Isn't there some kind of medicine that a person could buy at a drugstore to clear it up?
What, like VD be gone?
Linda, there isn't any kind of medicine that can be bought over a counter which can cure venereal disease.
Well, there goes my idea for a ShamWow condom.
By a doctor. Now, any person who's foolish enough to believe that a bottle of pills or a tube of ointment in a plain wrapper.
Well, if it comes in a plain wrapper, it's more likely to cause VD than cure it.
Is going to be very sorry later.
Very sore later in life?
I don't remember that chancre you described. And I'd certainly remember that burning feeling if I'd ever had it. In fact, I don't seem to have any of the symptoms at all.
VD's coming
So
for you,
I'm
Barbara.
sure I have an infection.
I'm not sure, Linda. In fact, I sincerely hope you're right. But the only way we can know, either of us for sure, is for you to be examined by your own doctor.
Or nowadays, by an urgent care intern.
Think about it this way for a moment. In a few years' time, you're very likely to be getting married.
I'd like to see her try to pull off wearing a white dress.
Pregnant. She could pass this disease on to her unborn child. Now, that means that it's possible that the baby could be born dead or deformed.
Oh, so this explains Bill
The
Maher.
doctor will advise a blood test. If you are infected, wouldn't you rather find out about it now? Get the proper treatment and be cured, instead of waiting till 2 or 3 days before your wedding date?
Well, it would take care of that something old requirement. Then again, none of this would have happened if her boyfriend hadn't had something blue.
Don't wait any longer. And Linda, if you are infected, the doctor will ask you for the name of the person who gave you the disease.
Why? So he can humiliate him on Twitter?
What does that mean?
Well, first you'll be transported to a warehouse in Bolivia where
Where you'll be examined and screened by the Shining Path.
These germs must be everywhere. I could have picked it up from a toilet seat someplace.
How is it people didn't stop using toilets altogether after
It
this?
just doesn't happen that way.
And just how were you using that toilet?
Transmitted from one adult to another through intimate sexual contact.
Better known as boing!
And I'm not stressing this because I want to pry into your private life. But if you
A short that warns us about the dangers of ED, and the nurse then flashes us some leg. Good
the
job.
person who passed venereal disease to you. He may have infected others, and they'll infect still others.
And we must protect Jimmy Osmond at all costs.
To protect the health of other people as well as your own. Now, you can do this by giving the doctor the information he asks for, so that all contacts can be located and
be properly fined by the IRS for not having health coverage.
And treatment if necessary. And what happens after I tell the doctor?
You know, she looks like Bob Newhart
The
in
doctor may
drag.
contact him, or he may obtain the help of trained health department people to follow up the case. Either way, tact and discretion are used to avoid any embarrassment.
You know, I think she's already properly
I don't see how that
embarrassed.
could be done in my case. Last month I had my first experience with a man quite a lot older than I am.
Larry King?
It only happened once. I didn't know it could lead to this.
And on a side note, just how many Japanese businessmen have you seen lately?
My holidays. I know his name, but I don't know where he lives. I don't think he comes from this part of the country at all.
He must come from VD Istan.
And the name of the summer resort to the doctor, Linda. He'll take it from there. Now, let's make an appointment with your family doctor. Dr. Ferguson, this is Linda Miller.
Hello, Linda.
Gah! Dr. Mengele lives.
Won't you sit down?
I'm sorry, this is a whites-only doctor's office.
Hello, Doctor. Miss Johnson, the public health nurse, told me it's possible that I might have an infection. That's what I came to see you about.
Good, Linda. Now, we'd like you to sleep with
These
the
two young
following
people, by a chain of circumstances, contracted venereal disease.
Chain of
Fortunately,
circumstances.
their
What a
infection was
lovely
detected
Fox
early
News
enough
way to
and
put it.
treatment begun in time to cure it before serious consequences could result. But what of the man quite a lot older than Linda? Will he
Oh,
be
he's
so
probably
fortunate?
in the Vivid Video
Linda's
hospice by
doctor
now.
and public health personnel will do everything possible to find him and treat him.
Geez, we've gone from
But
VD to
how
Dealey
many
Plaza.
others
Is the
will
director
become
trying to
infected
tell us
before
something?
the chain of infection is broken?
Venereal
Russ
disease
Meyer, he's supposed to teach us about double D's, not
The
VD.
health of thousands of our people is threatened by the increase in the incidence of venereal diseases.
On floor, I'm infected.
And public health departments are concerned by the widespread occurrence of infectious syphilis and gonorrhea.
You know, it sounds like he's speaking from the inside of a gas
Most
chamber.
communities, but they can't help without your cooperation.
Yes, without your cooperation or your papers.
Tell me where the VD is and I will give you a piece of chocolate. And this special lamp here can burn the VD right out of your bloodstream.
Hey, you know, his mustache is approaching Tom Selleck status. This week on Magnum VD.
Are its allies. Linda discovered this the difficult way.
Actually, I think you could say she learned it the hard way.
And a constant awareness of the danger of promiscuous sexual behavior must become a part of our daily life.
And we can start by closing down the Clinton Library.
This is the 20th century. But how many of us in our modern age are still in a prehistoric stage in our thinking about venereal disease?
Heidi Montag's 15th successful plastic
Why
surgery.
has venereal disease continued as a blight on society down through the ages when it should be as extinct as this dinosaur in this
Or
day
John
of
Bobbitt's porn
scientific
career.
marvel? How long will it take society to develop a social conscience as advanced as the material gains we now enjoy?
When they stop buying Ashley
Can
Simpson
syphilis and
CDs.
gonorrhea be eradicated before we defeat complacency and ignorance? Can our generation govern
Actual
its own
footage of the
behavior
transmission of
sufficiently
venereal
to
disease.
abolish the menace of venereal disease for future generations?
Up next, Monster A Go-Go on WTVD. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Don't spread your legs. Da-na-na-na-na-na.
This sound makes me think Hans Peter Mueller wanted us to believe VD is a Bond villain. You know, after watching this, I have to wonder how many people contracted VD to the Beau Brummels.
To boldly go where no gynecologist has gone before.